I'm heading down a trail to get to Pinnacle and Pulpit Peak, as you saw in the title of the video. So this trail I'm taking is, if you want to get there, by the Reservoir. Now there's many ways to get to Pinnacle and Pulpit Peak. So you can come from Hawk Mountain, you can come from the Reservoir, or you can go from Blue Rocks Campground. That's like the main three ways people get here. I'm coming from the Reservoir, and there's two ways to do it from the Reservoir. You can take like a trail route that kind of goes underneath and then you come up to, I think that one's Pulpit, or you can get to Pulpit by the stone road you kind of park next to. It'll take you straight up there. I just like this because it's a little more scenic, and I don't know, it's a little harder I guess, but it's prettier. Kind of gets boring walking along the road for like 2 miles or however long that is. But yeah, this is one of my favorite places to hike around me, and just hike in PA in general. The Overlook here is awesome, and the trail's a decent challenge. It's a nice little uphill, nice grade, but it is a very rocky trail. It kind of sucks in some portions. A couple buddies and I, we call a couple spots Ankle Roll Alley 1 and 2, just because it's just rocks everywhere. And if you're not careful, well, the name kind of says what's going to happen. So I'm going to keep on trucking here. We'll get back to it later on, get some shots of this trail so far. And yeah, it's a nice day. We'll see what we can see from the overlooks. We should be able to see for miles. Like a bright sunny day is the best day to be up here. It's usually awesome. So we're almost at the halfway point of between the two overlooks. That first one was called Pulpit Peak. I'm in one of the cool, I call like anchor roll alleys, what we call it. So this is like number 1 or number 2. It's just a minefield of ankle breaking goodness. But that's all in fun. You just kind of have to glue your eyes to the ground and watch your step, and you're good. Besides those two like anchor roll alleys, once you get through them, the rest of the trail is kind of a cakewalk. I mean, you're just on top of the mountain, following kind of like a tight trail here. It's not real wide, but it's cool. It's pretty scenic. Now, if you're here in the wintertime or late fall when the leaves are down, it's cool because almost the whole time you're riding this, you can kind of see out. It's like an overlook the whole time. But the extra hike, besides the first little overlook you do, the extra hike is so worth it. Well, besides, once you get past that first overlook, you might think, oh, this was cool, let's go back. If you're scared of the extra hike, it's worth going to the second overlook. It's beautiful. This is one of my favorite overlooks in PA, and I think that's what we'll show you up next. See you there. a dip. Man, look at that view. Alright, so I'm coming off of that main overlook, which is one of my favorite overlooks in PA. Place is awesome. I don't want to leave there some days, like a day like today, when you can see just forever. Nothing really beats that. Or at least around here. I'd imagine there's probably definitely better overlooks at other places, but for this state, it's pretty great. So, let's go the wrong way. Okay. Yeah, this is the right way. Alright. So I'm gonna make my way back. I'm a little time crunched. I was there a little too long, enjoying myself too much there. I will give a heads up. Normally the overlook there's pretty crowded. Now when you first get there, it's awesome. But take the couple extra minutes to just kind of keep going and find the spot. Because there's a lot more than just that first spot where everybody hangs out. And the video shows one of my favorite spots. It's not as cool of a look, but it's a cool, sketchy kind of area. And you kind of have that big peak. You can sit down, bring like your lunch, hang out. I don't know. I like it. It's a cool spot. Check it out. All right, so I'm on a bit of a time crunch here. Second half of this hike, I'm making it a loop trail. You don't have to do it that way. If you do this trail, I mean, you can just go right back the way we came, where you came. But I'm doing it kind of like a harder way. Up ahead, like a half mile after the peak, when you're heading back, there's a trail on your left that kind of goes down the mountain. This trail, if you follow it, will take you down to a campground called Blue Rocks Campground, and that's a spot where if you want, you can even do the hike from there. Now you can go to the Blue Rocks Campground, and it takes you to this cool spot, like this boulder patch going up the mountain there, and it's a cool spot to check out. And it has a little store there. You can get some refreshments or whatever if you want, if you're running low on water. But then you have to hike back up the mountain about halfway, where you come off the trail from the reservoir. So then you hook onto the reservoir trail on your left. If you go right, it'll snake you right back up to the I think it's Pulpit Peak. Yeah, it'll take you back up to the Pulpit Peak. And you could do that too and just ride the road all the way down, but I want to take the trail because it's a little more scenic back. And yeah, this way it just takes you down and around. It's a little bit of a harder loop. I'm going to do it anyway. You know I have time crunch. There's just not going to be as many shots the second half of this hike because I'm just trying to kind of crank through it. So I'll try to show you the main stuff. Hopefully next time won't be as time crunch. I just got to go. But see, I'll probably talk later on. Maybe we'll see what's going on. See you back around whenever. All right, so we're coming up to this trail. looks like it is marked yellow. The one that you go down to take to the campground, yellow. If you stay on the white one, it'll take you back. Yellow campground. So let's get her done. This spot's pretty steep. It's kind of fun. A little slick. So I made it down to the campground, and I just want to give you a heads up. When you're coming down here, when you get pretty close, there's just going to be trails like all over the place all of a sudden. As long as you're kind of working your way downhill, you'll be fine. You're going to eventually find yourself like this very wide like gravel road, and then what you're going to just want to do is follow the road, and you should hear a stream. Just work your way towards that stream. As I'm right here over this bridge, you just walk over the bridge and keep following this road, and then you're going to find the big rock feature on your right. And right after the rock feature, you're going to turn right, and then they have a path made out of mulch that goes on for a couple hundred yards, and that's the path you want to stay on. It will get a little confusing up that path a little bit because it's washed out pretty bad, because most of that path is a stream. So you just got to be careful and make sure you're staying on the right path there. There's going to be, coming down, there's going to be a trail that intersects it. The trail you're on, the yellow, it's going to be a red trail. Now that trail, if you're in trouble or something and you just got to get back quicker instead of come all the way down here, hop on the red trail. It's going to hook you like about most of the way up of the other trail you hop back on here after the rocks from the camp. So it just kind of bypasses coming all the way down and back up. It's like a shortcut in case you need to. Or if you don't want to do the whole loop, you can just stay out of the camp area and just go up. But it's kind of empty here. It's weird. Normally this place is like packed. It's weird. But I'm going to be quiet here. I'll show you the rock feature. It's right up ahead. It's cool. If you're down here, it's worth checking out. You might as well loop down and check the rock feature out if you got the time. I'll just do a couple shots of it quick, show it to you, and we're going to roll out of here. And the next like couple miles, basically getting back to the car, is probably going to be like a minute. Like as I said, I'm on a time crunch. I'm going to try and get out of here fast. Yeah, see you back at the car. Alright, so I'm almost back. Like jogged half the way back. Oh, gross. But when you're coming up from the parking lot, I just want to give a quick tip here. There's a few different ways you can hook onto the trail to the one that takes you over to Pinnacle and all that. So the road I'm on right now, you can take it up to Pulpit Peak. I'm not sure which one does, but one of them does. So when you come up from the parking lot, you're going to ride this stone path, and it's going to curve, and you're going to go over a little bridge. So I think there's a couple entrances right after the bridge you can get onto the trail from, but I keep going up the road there, and then back there you can either go up or go right. I go right, and then right after that right hand turn you're going to see a clearing on your right hand side before it curves and goes up like this steep hill. You wanted to go into that curve where it just kind of looks like some mowed grass. Just follow that, and you're going to stick to the left hand side where it stays wide, and you're going to go down that little hill, and then it turns into a trail, and you just follow that until you get to the trail where it does like a Y, and then the tree has the white markings on the trail, and if you look up the tree on the other side of it, it's going to give you an arrow. It's going to says Pinnacle and Pulpit Peak that way, and that's where you go. But like I said, there's other ways to get on that trail from here. That's just the way I know from just kind of goofing off the last time we did this. So yeah, like that one right there, there's a trail that goes in. I mean, there's all kinds of like passages. I would imagine they all probably go somewhere, eventually hooking to the main trail. But yeah, overall, cool hike. I'll give you the stats of the hike after I'm done talking here. There's just kind of like a walk out. Yeah, so overall it's pretty cool. So I'm on that bridge. You're going to come from that away. From the bridge, there's that right hand. You want to go left. I forgot there's a little Y right there, but you go left. So you go left, follow the trail, go right, and then before it curves up that really steep hill, then you just hook a right in that open clearing and you're golden.